Then, like Amos, line 12, when you present yourself before the courts, they trample on justice there. And you bring me your worthless offerings. That's from Amos, you see. Same themes. I don't want your offerings. I don't want your sacrifice. They mean nothing to me. Your new moons, your Sabbaths, they disgust me. That's pure Amos there. Right? Learn good. We heard that in Micah. Search for justice. Help the oppressed. Plead for the widow. Be just to the orphan. Now, you, Cheryl, have been reading with me in the other class, and your friend, the Quran. Does Muhammad pick this stuff up? Yeah, he's always talking about be good to orphans and widows over and over and over and over and over again, right out of these passages here. Oh, he could have had it separate from this. Yeah, he could have, but I don't think he did. He could have, but I don't think he did. Okay. So again, like I told you, line 19 puts it in a nutshell. If you obey, if you do what you're commanded, you shall enjoy the good things of the earth. If you are rebellious and persist in this wayward behavior, the sword will come instead. So the punishment is here and now. There is no thing. If you obey, if you're good, you're going to enjoy heaven in paradise. I could have said that if I was the prophet, if I had that idea, but he doesn't have that. So in 700 BC, there's no idea of heaven, hell, resurrection, anything like that we can see. Maybe there was, but we don't see any evidence. Again, being a harlot, playing the faithless one, that's a bit like Hosea. And Zion, you see, is the name of the faithful city. Zion is what the faithful city will be called. So Zion National Park in Utah, Zionism in the present day. Zion is an honorable term. Today, people think of it as a curse, but I see it as an honorable thing. And I'm glad that they called it that. I think that the prophets used that term honorably and hopefully. And I think that's really honoring their memory to have put it in present time. You see, once there was integrity in Zion and Jerusalem, but now there are just assassins, silver, dross, your princes are no good, everyone wants profit, bribes, no justice to the orphan, there's the widow and the orphan again. So we've heard all that, right? And, you know, I'm going to really give it to you, line 25. I'm going to smelt you like dross in the furnace, but I'm going to also remove the base metal in the process from you, and you're going to come out restored. You will be restored, line 26, as your judges of old. Then we'll not call you, you know, rebellious or unfaithful or whatever. You will be called, like in Hosea, city of integrity. What do you have for that? Line 26. Faithful city. What do you have?
City of righteousness.
City of, I think it's righteousness. City of righteousness. Faithful city you have? After that?
Faithful city.
Yeah, faithful city. Yes. Zion, you see. That's all honorable. Zion will be redeemed by righteousness. Her penitence by justice, righteousness, integrity, whatever word you have. Give me another translation. What do you guys have?
City of saving justice.
No, Zion will be redeemed by
Their judgment.
judgment, okay. And then her penitence. What do you have the next after that?
And those who return by saving justice.
Oh, well, penitents are those who return. Penitence is probably more accurate there. And if you know the scrolls, penitents are a big deal in the Damascus time. Penitents went out in the wilderness. I think they get it all from here. Okay, that's the first vision, chapter 2. That's quite a beginning, huh? Even though, I mean, you know, we've heard it much of it before. Chapter 2, we know from Micah. Some of those famous lines in the Bible. It's ruined for us because we saw it in Micah first. But anyway.
It's also in Joel.
Is it in Joel too? Word for word as well?
Just the one verse. Verse 4 is, but it's reversed.
Nice.
The words in the verse.
You want to read it to us then?
Joel 3:10.
Go ahead, read it, because I can't turn as fast as you're there. Maybe you can give it to us. Joel, I'll write it down here. I learn something new every day. Joel 3:10.
It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Oh, he reverses it, okay. He reverses it. Which came first, chicken or the egg? I assume Amos is earlier, but who knows? In the days to come, the mountain of the temple of the Lord shall tower over the mountains, be lifted high over the hills, and all nations will stream unto it. Now, Christianity, too, feels that it's involved in that. But they don't think the mountain of the temple of the Lord is going to be restored to Jerusalem. They have Rome and other places. Rome, the city that destroyed Jerusalem, which is really, to me, quite amazing. That the center of anything could be there, the place that took everything away and took all the booty and destroyed the temple and, denuded the land and, and we know that they built the Colosseum with the loot that they took from the temple, which is a beautiful reversal right there. Sort of institution that was supposed to be for holiness turned into a murder arena. That's really amazing. But a lot of people don't see the irony of history. They just like the architecture of the Colosseum. Who built the Colosseum was the conquerors of Jerusalem. Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. Titus and Vespasian built it for fun and games to entertain the people with all their captives and all their the booty that they take. It's a beautiful piece of architecture, granted, but what went on there is pretty gruesome. Okay, so you have to think about these things. So part of, again, I don't say you should take the Old Testament seriously, but if you do, then I don't know how you can come up with the conclusions that some people come up with, but I'll just leave it at that. If you don't want to bother with the Old Testament and come up with the conclusion that that's a great thing, then you're totally free to do that. But you can't go in the face of what they say. Here, come, let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the temple of God of Jacob, and the law will go out from Zion, and the oracle of the Lord from Jerusalem. He will wield authority over the nations and adjudicate between the people. And this is considered to be messianic, but it should be in Jerusalem. The hammer will be sword. They'll hammer their swords and their plowshares, their spears and their pruning hooks. Nation will not war against nation, neither shall they learn war and more very beautiful things. Okay, we all know that. Line 6. You have cast off your people, the house of Jacob. It's full of soothsayers, liars, sorcerers, like the Philistines, so on and so forth. We've heard all of this. Line 13. Against the cedars of Lebanon, the oaks of Bashan, the high mountains, the soaring hills. But let Yahweh